How's it going, everybody? It's Pete J for Pete_J on YouTube, Pete J Play on Twitch. We're back. Truck Mechanic Simulator 2015. We have not been in the garage since January 20th, 2026. It is currently, my friends, March 17th. So it's been a little while since we've been in the garage here. Obviously, we've finally opened up the final garage. So we've got the big one here. And we got a workbench over here. Okay, so I'm not entirely sure. This is what makes it fun because I get to relearn all of the stuff. So, right-clicking is our menu. Here's our repair invoice. Find and fix the broken part. This is a Fighter Line Coco Jumbo from 2006.
Something is bucking during starting off and shifting lately. Can you check what happened?
200 USDs. Okay, so we're getting into a little bit more difficult jobs. We're going to open the door, and I had just found the OBD. This one does not seem to have an OBD. Do we not get an OBD anymore? Because we've unlocked the. All right, so we've got to find and fix the problem. Should we take a quick gander at the? Just let's do a visual. Let's do a visual. See if we can see anything that might jump out at us. Starting and shifting, right? That's what we're talking about. Starting and shifting. I'm gonna come around here. I'm not seeing anything really. Wait. It doesn't look bad though. All right, well, I guess we're gonna need some more testing, folks. So let's jump out of here. Let's go ahead and close the wheel. I don't want that. There you go. I think we got to bring it over here, don't we? We can do some testing this way. Check truck on the diagnostics path. Yes, please. Oh, we get to drive it. Oh, okay. No, this is I'm like, because I think that's gone too. The test path that might be going as well. We'll have to look into that. Again, it's been a little while. I'm going to pull up. All right. They're getting the front wheels up to speed. We're going to hit the S button to brake. I don't think it's going to be brakes and suspension though, right? Test out the back brakes. Those are at 95%. The left, the front suspension. We'll get a full diagnostics. And then the rear. But again, this is brakes and suspension. So I don't think that has anything to do with the issue with the starting and the. What other what other possible testing equipment do we have? Loading. All right, yeah, so I'm going to try and get back into things. There's a lot of titles that I kind of walked away from. I don't mean to be rude to the developers, but they get kind of monotonous after a while, and your boy Pete kind of struggles with monotony, so that's nothing. So this is just that. Okay, we did that, right? Path test, check the vehicle. I think we've already done that. Okay. What other test drive? Let's go for a test drive. So yeah, so I get a little tired with the monotony. So, sorry, just had to clear my throat. So here we are. Out on the test path. I said before I'm not going to drive it this way again because that was a little. But I was doing well on this one. I was doing. I was doing pretty well on Plane Mechanicsimulator too. I got to finish that one up as well. plane mechanic simulator, so I gotta get that one done as well. Got tank mechanic simulator sitting there. Car mechanic simulator was another one that I was really kind of falling on, and I had just opened up the drag race DLC, so there's a lot to do there, but I just, you know, after a while I got tired of doing kind of the same old. Got myself into the mechanic simulator games, and they all kind of run very similar, so yeah, they all kind of run similarly, so I was looking for something a little bit different. So I'm trying to work out a somewhat of a quote-unquote schedule without being too rigid. Computer. There, all right, so I don't know. That was the other thing, is I lost a lot of money last time. At level 3, so we still need a lot to go. Okay, I'm sorry, folks. Like I said, I'm trying to remember where I was. We do have the... Alright, yeah, we've got the... That's it, though, right? That's that and the OBD, but we don't have an OBD. So we're looking for starting and shifting. So if we go here and we go... Something is bucking during starting off and shifting lately. Can you check what happened? Alright, we ran a bunch of tests. Can we go? We should be able to do this, right? This is hide show the... Okay, so we've run a bunch of tests. And that should give us the condition there. We got a red right there. Is that a bearing? Everything else kind of looks okay, huh? All right, let's get her up in here. So I want to get back. I want to make sure I'm getting things done, and everything, especially with the plane mechanic simulator, because I think I'm pretty much done with that. I'm on the last plane that they have available, or at least listed. So I want to disassemble. Who do I have to talk to about? No, I don't want to examine the condition. I want to... Nope. Assemble, disassemble. There we go. Why is this? Okay, so there must be something in the way that's not letting me remove this, right? That's what the game is trying to tell me. Is there something... All right. That's it. Okay. Yeah, we got to remove those. Okay. I'm like, what is happening, folks? All right. And yeah, so I was working on the last plane, and again, it's one of those things where a lot of these mechanic simulator games, when you get to a certain point, it doesn't feel like you're learning anything anymore, or you're being really tested. It's just kind of... They make you tear down everything to make the repairs, which happens. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but it just seems like you're doing, you know, it's giving you busy work basically. You know, you go, oh, okay, here's a repair, and then you got to tear the entire thing down just to get to this one part. You get to the part, right, and you're like, okay, I did that, and you're like, what's next? We got to remove the starter. You're like, okay, let's check out the next, and it's like, it's the same, it's kind of the same thing. There's the part next to the part that you just repaired. That's the other thing, is you don't repair the parts, you just replace them. So you're just tearing the whole engine down to get to a part that you're just going to take off, buy a new one, put the new one on, and then you have to rebuild the whole engine. It's like, okay, it just seems like you're like the entire episode. And that's the thing, is I would love to be able to I just need to find a way that I'd like to present it to you where you don't have to sit through watching me do basically the same job over and over and over again. But by the same token, I don't want you to miss the gameplay. So it's you know, I'm trying to square the circle, you know what I mean? I'm trying to circle the square and figure out exactly what I can do. But we'll figure it out. All right, we just took this stuff off. Shaft joint. Can we fix the shaft joint? Or and I'm gonna clean out my inventory. Again, it's been a while. It's been a starter. That's at 95%, so we don't need that. We're gonna go buy a shaft joint. Right? And it didn't give us any of those other parts, but let's put the thing back together before we start selling parts somewhere. I believe it was called a shaft joint. There it is. 100 USDs. We're gonna get it for 94. That's why those guys are my favorite. They cut me a little bit of a break. A little bit of a break. I'll take a break. You deserve a break today, huh? All right, so let's get into the assemble mode, and we're gonna drop that back on there. So yeah, I'd like to figure out a way that I can present it to you where you know what I'm doing because you've seen it before, but you're not sitting through having to watch me do it time in and time out, you know. But I gotta believe that I'm getting pretty close to being able to close out playing Mechanic Simulator. Obviously, once you finish that, you know, the story mode kind of thing, it opens up into kind of a free play. But I don't think there's any more. I don't think there's any more planes. So is this missing one? Because no, there's 4. Okay. I was like, that was only 3. It does open up into kind of a sandbox kind of thing where it's free mode, you know, free mode. I don't know if I keep playing it though. If there were other planes or aircraft, you know, that'd be one thing, but I think it's just the same ones over and over again. So what else we got? Oh, starter. I always forget that. That's kind of a big thing not to forget. Don't forget the starter. Starter's at 95%. All right, I think we're good to go. Information, no parts to assemble. Okay. All right, find and fix the broken part. Check. We got the check there. Let's go ahead and mark that one repaired. We'll pick up 200 USDs, which we spent 97 for a new shift thingamapopper. Shifty McDifty. All right, we got another one. It is a 2008 Scania Country. Replace worn out parts.
I cannot move. Something is grinding when I'm trying to shift. I think the gearbox is broken. Please fix it.
2,000 USDs. I need those USDs. We are not even going to waste time on this one, bro. We're going right to the source. The source of the recourse. Although, to be honest with you, right? I have a feeling it's on the inside anyway. All right, they're not going to give it to me, so let's just go to assemble, disassemble. Disassembly mode. We're going to go here. We're going to pull the drive shaft so we can get into the tranny, the transmission, because it sounds to me like that's what we're talking about. We're talking about issues with shifting and the like. So Plane Mechanic Simulator is going to be coming up. As a matter of fact, you'll see an episode of that next week. There's also going to be an episode of Easy Red 2. So you get Easy Red 2 on Tuesday and a Plane Mechanic Simulator on Thursday. And then I'm going to continue with, I like the truck mechanic sims, so you're going to see those once every 2 weeks. There'll be a new run. I'm going to kind of slow it down. Rather than one every week, we're going to do a run in both American Truck and Euro Truck once every 2 weeks. So I'm trying to get to a schedule that I can keep up with, because I keep promising y'all that I'm going to get more consistent, and I keep falling way off. So I'm thinking if I could do 3 videos one week, 2 videos another week, and then back to the 3 videos and back and forth like that, I'm thinking that kind of looked like it might be an issue. I'm going to go ahead and tear this whole thing down. I mean, what's the point of holding back, right? I mean, and once we pull it off, then we'll know what the condition is. See, this does not look horrible. And there's the flywheel. This doesn't look horrible either, so I'm not sure this is the deal. I don't think we can pull the crankshaft. What? Wait a minute. Can I? The crankshaft condition unknown. All right, the engine, the crankshaft is. Did let me examine the condition. What do you think of that? What is that thing? Steering gear. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at the parts we got. Because we can, now that we've pulled them off, we can look at them. We have clutch plate is at 10%. Again, the clutch plate didn't look bad to me. And then you got a gearbox that's at 32%. Got brakes. Okay. Let's check it on the bench. Let's see what we can fix. Nothing. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. So I need money. This is how they get you to go to the bank, I bet you. What do I need? I need I kind of wish they would let you make a list too. So we need a clutch plate and a gearbox. I'm surprised I can't work on that gearbox though. Clutch plate. How much for a clutch plate? 150 USDs. Oh, we got 2,000. Again, I'm not understanding the money. How that last project was. We had 400, right? The last one was supposedly for 200, which should have given us 619. I don't know how we wound up with 2,000. All right, so the clutch plate is, wait a minute, what? Clutch plate's 150. They're going to give it to us for 141. So it is actually a benefit. Gearbox 600, we'll get it for 564. Since we have over 2,000, I'm going to go ahead and grab that. Right? I mean, and then here we go. We're going to rebuild. First, we want to go ahead and hit the right mouse button, switch over to assemble mode. We'll put the flywheel back on. That's at 95%. That bolts to the crankshaft. And you got your clutch plate. That's at a hundo. That's a hundo. And we got the clutch clamp. This, I'm assuming, clamps the clutch. I'm not sure, but I'm not 100%. But all I'm saying is don't quote me. Don't quote me on that. All right, we're going to put a new gearbox on there. And we'll button her up. And as long as we're here before we head back, let's go ahead and throw the starter on before I forget, because I always tend to forget. In Car Mechanic Simulator, I don't know why, but I just never remember to put the starters back on anything, so. There you go. All right, so that's that. Gotta put this shaft joint back on, and then from the shaft joint, assembly mode. What? That's drive shaft extension. I'm sorry. The drive shaft injection. that was ugly. I know it was, but can't all be pretty. If it is, then you know. That's too much for just one guy to have all of that and be able to do it well. All right, so we got that one going here. Now, when I do this, I'm going to pay specific attention to the money. I don't understand how the money is being apportioned out. Are these tips? Are people giving me tips? What's happening? What is happening here? All right, so there's that. Let us disengage. Let's put the thing back on the ground. Well, before we do that, let's check the work order. Another European cab over design here. Replace the worn out parts. Check. We got it. All right, let's get her down on the ground. There you go, my man. Very nice. Very nice looking ride there, partner. Nice rig. Okay, when we look at the invoice. Invoice says 2,000 USDs. That's what I'm supposed to be getting. We're going to mark that repaired. We're going to proceed to the next order. Let's see what happens. What's coming up? What is happening? And it says 862 USD earned money. Okay, so that's a lot less than the 2,000 that I was promised. But again, I don't know. I would have to go back and see how much I spent. So maybe it's 2,000 less what my expenditure for parts. Maybe does that sound right? Although why would I wind up with 2,000 after a $200? I don't know. Repair order number 30. Replace worn out parts on a 2014 Marauders Fireflame.
I came to you to change filters and oil, but the engine doesn't work as it should, and I would like you to do it all. 750 USDs. Okay, so another cab over design. So I must be in Europe. All right, so Brothers truck does not work. Do we? Well, let's see. Does he have an OBD? The OBD may tell us a bit here. Yeah, he's got an OBD. Let's take a look. OBD. It's been so long, folks, that I am just tongue-tied. I am tongue-tied. Reading the EEPROM, finalizing and done. I wish it would give you a report or something. It just kind of goes done, and then I think the next thing you do is you have to pop the hood or open the cab and then right click and then go to hide show part condition, and that's when you get this is where the OBD comes in. We got some yellow here, a couple of yellow parts. Some yellow here. We got red there. Is that the fuel? Oh, that's ignition, right? Let's check the engine. 67% on the, I think that's the alternator. Yeah, alternator. 69% on the fuel pump. It does say right there, Pete, alternator. The fuel pump. So these are still in the 60s. I don't know if I would count them as bad. This is the glow plug wires. So the glow plug wires are not good. They are the bad. What else we got? We got yellow on our air pressure. Air container, I mean. Yeah, it's 72. Not bad. 73 on the water pump. 71 on the starter. We got 61 on the gearbox. All right, let's go ahead and actually, before we do that, let's hit this because I want to purge myself of all of this other broken stuff. I don't need that. And all it does is cause me
some consternation when I'm trying to figure out what I need and what I don't need. So inventory, we're going to sell this clutch plate for $11, gearbox for $147. I have the same issue with the inventory on this game as I do in Car Mechanic Simulator. It's like, I know there are times where I can fix some of these things, like the gearbox. I've fixed gearboxes, I thought, before. I mean, I don't know, am I supposed to hold on to it and then at some other point it will become, or if it's not if it's not repairable, it's not repairable, you just get rid of it, right? That's my thinking. All right, so I'm gonna pull this. Ooh. All the glow plugs need to get replaced as well. No, I need to disassemble. All right, stop it. There we go. Will not let me pull them from this far. I have to get close. Ah. And then if you don't wait for it to set, it kicks you back out. All right, set. There's the green outline. There we go. All right, so there's that. We also want to change filters, which is the oil filter. All right, 2 oil filters and an air filter, right? There's the air filter here. Don't think there's a fuel filter, is there? Wait, water pump. Hose between the water pump. That is the turbo compressor. I don't think they have fuel filters. Or at least you can't get the fuel pump here. Alternator, air conditioning pump. Draft pulley, water pump. Yeah, I don't think there is one. Okay. So, let us mosey. Check our inventory. I don't think you can do anything for the glow plugs. I don't think you can. You probably can't do anything for the wires. Honestly, I don't think you can do anything with any of this stuff. But always check. Always check. You know, the money you save is your own. So, you know, do with that as you will. We wound up with what? 6 glow plugs? 2, 4, 6. Yeah, 6 glow plugs, 2 oil filters, and an air filter. All right. So air filter, we need one of those. And again, this game, all the parts are universal, which does help. I mean, when you get the Car Mechanic Simulator and stuff like that, there's different types of air filters and stuff like that. So you have to be a little bit more specific. This is it's kind of nice that it's just general, so you don't have to worry about it too much. So we got that. What else do we need, folks? Glow plugs. Gotta buy them one at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Glow plug wires. We need that. And we need oil filters. 1, 2. Again, that would be kind of nice if they could write that in where you can set the quantity of how many you want rather than. All right, man. Let's do it. We want to switch to assemble mode. We're going to put our new air filter in. Put the cover on. Yeah. All right, we can start with these glow plugs, I think. And the same thing, wait for it to settle. Then we can put that in. Wait for it to settle. All right. And the last glow plug. The question I have though is if I'm doing an oil change, did we figure out how to do that? Because I'm not sure if I did. Go ahead and put those in. I think, did it say oil change? I came to you to change filters and oil. Okay, so yes, we do need to change the oil. We're gonna close the cabin. All right, we're gonna jack her up. Ultra 5W30, okay. We're gonna come down underneath here. Engine check, I need this. Now there's no capture method for this. That's pretty much it. You just let it run out onto the floor. So we're going to disengage. Let's lower her back down. Open the cabin again. We want to get over here and engine check. We're gonna come here. We're gonna put some oil in. Oop, you gotta wait for the thing to open. There you go. There we go. Okay. I'm not sure how much to put in, but that seems like enough. That seemed like it was enough. I can't. Can I grab the oil level? Yeah, we're at max. The oil level should be held between min and max marks. The new oil is golden and used, and the used one is black. Okay, so we're actually at max, but that's okay. So I think what I might do is I might use the 5 Mississippi rule. So once you're pouring the initial pour of the oil, and then there's this adjustment that gets made. Just kind of backs off a little bit, like that. And then you go 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5, and then stop. And that should be enough oil. Of course, don't count out loud because the people who watch your channel will think you're insane. But that's the best way to make sure you don't overfill. All right, so the Martyrs Fire Flame from 2014, we replaced the worn out parts. They came for an oil change to change the filters and the oil, and the engine wasn't working. It turned out it was the glow plug, so we took care of that. $750 US. We're going to mark that repaired. We're going to proceed to the next one. How much are we going to make off that? Oh, Vanna, how much money will we make? We'll make 805 USDs. Again, I don't understand. The whole job was I was quoted 750. I got paid 805. I don't understand. All right, so Reno XL13 2011, replace broken parts.
The starter turns, but the truck doesn't start. I leave this problem to you.
700 USDs. Another cab over. The starter turns. The starter turns, but the truck doesn't start. I leave this problem to you. Okay. All right, boys, girls, we got ourselves a tricky one. All right, let's do OBD first. See what info we can get. They're gonna give you the option. Go ahead and take it, right? Don't make work smarter, not harder. Reading the EEPROM 2567, 100% checking errors. Many. Finalizing. Done. Like I said, I still wish there would be a print, like I would get a sheet that would say what was up with that. It doesn't start, so I don't think we definitely can't take it out on the test track. That's just going to be brakes and suspension. That's not going to tell us anything. So let's not worry about that then. Let's pop her open. Let's check the engine. Let's switch over to examine condition. We'll see what we got. All right. Starter looks okay. I'm seeing some red. Oh, a fuel pump and an alternator, it looks like. All right, well, you know what we got to do. We have to go to assemble, disassemble. Oh, we got to take off the manifold. I don't know. See what I'm saying? Here's the fuel pump. In order to get to the fuel pump, though, I need to take off the intake manifold. And in order to take off the intake manifold, I have to take off the hose. So you start to get into... I get it. That happens. You know what I mean? It's more realistic than you would think, but it's just... After a while, I get a little tired of just chasing around and having to do stuff that has nothing to do with what I'm doing. You know? It's just like... Okay. But I watched some folks on YouTube that I enjoy, and I was watching somebody else, and they tend to do a lot of demos. They play a lot of demos and stuff like that. And a lot of them are like this store simulation kind of games and stuff. And it's like, and Roadcraft, and it's like, you know, all of these games really are just about resource management. You know what I mean? It's just about managing your resources. That's the whole game in a nutshell. I think, for me anyway, periodically it just gets a little, you know, dull. Just like, yeah. What else you got? Anything? You got something else for me? Alright, so we got all that stuff. And I think that's going to be okay, right? That's all we need. Alright, let's go ahead and back out. Let's hit the, let's go ahead and hit the bench and see what we can do, if anything, with these. That's the other thing that drives me nuts, though. Is 84 USDs to fix the alternator, so that's up to 100%. That's the other issue. I kind of wish, if there's one out there, I hope that, you know, but that you can actually, like, if you're fixing, you have a problem with the alternator, I would love to find one where you could actually open the alternator. You know what I mean? Change the brushes, actually work on some of the parts. I know it would be a monster as far as resources, right? It would need tons of resources. It would be a huge game that probably would only be able to be played on big, but again, you don't have to do it with all of them, but you know, just make the game a little bit more fun, because we get to do a little bit more specific stuff, you know, rather than just kind of broad general stuff. I need a fuel pump that I flew past. $210. We'll get it for 197.4. $197.40. All right, so we're going to switch over now to assemble mode. We'll put the fuel pump right back in. A hundo. And we can do that, and we have to do that first because we can't get the rest of these things on without it, so. I think that might keep me interested, but it's just like going and just buying parts, you know what I mean, and throwing them on there. It's like, well, all I'm really doing is assembly work. Just disassembling and reassembling, that's all I'm doing, you know. So, again, challenge me a little bit. I'm up for it. That's what I want. I want to be challenged a little bit. That's one of the reasons why I do love the games, especially at the beginning, is because you're learning how, you know, what you have to do and how to do it and all that stuff, and it's cool, you know. But after a while, like I say, it starts to fall into, they all start to fall into the same kind of repetitiveness, and it's like, But I want to finish them. Again, I talked about playing Mechanicsimulator. I don't know how much more there is to this one. This came out in 2015, so it is a much older game. And we are in the last of the garages, so this is the best it's going to get, I believe. What else do we have? Tank Mechanic Simulator. I am struggling with that one. I just cannot get a handle on it. They just released a new tank. So I may pick that one up and we'll continue on. Okay, so replace the broken parts, check, and this should give us 700 USDs. Let's check it out, folks. All right, use the OBD scanner, replace broken parts. Well, I have been using it. I didn't see how much we made. Sorry, folks. The Vallejo CC11 from 2008. Use the OBD scanner, replace broken parts.
I'd like to connect the truck to the OBD scanner, and if it find anything defective, please replace
It's at 550 USDs. 550 USD. Just to use my OBD scanner? Sure, go right ahead. I'll let you do it. I'll even let you look at it. I'm not going to tell you what the prompts mean, but that's another 550 USD. For that's another 500. Oh, God. Forgive me, folks. I've been away for a long time.
It's been so long.
Okay. What was the other half of that? Replace broken parts. Okay, so there are broken parts. And I will replace the broken parts with other broken parts. Ha 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 ha. Alright, so we're going to get in here. We're going to go hide show parts condition. We're going to take a look. Oh, we got another glow plug wire here. Alright, so this is the other thing that you start to learn is when you use the OBD, what is it scanning? It looks like it scans the alternator, the fuel pump, the gearbox, the glow plug wires, and the glow plugs underneath. We know that from last time. The air containers. All right, those come up. Your starter and your water pump. So that's what the OBD scans. Again, the more you play, the more you get used to which tests do what and let you know what. Again, more air containers back here. Is there... That looks like, that looked like there was some red back here. Is there red back here, or is that just me? I think it was just me. Huh? Might have been the brickwork. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Okay. So there's that. So, let us take ourselves up there. I do like the sound effects, because usually when you're working, you can hear cars going by and stuff, so it's pretty cool. Engine. We're in disassemble mode, so we're gonna grab this. Yeah, we gotta replace the glow plugs again. Not a great mission to have right after you've just done basically the same mission. And I've been talking about repetitiveness, so it's not great to do the same mission twice in a row. But I think the thing about this was 41%, and that's at 36. Was I've been using the OBD, so I think what the developers are trying to do is to remind you, don't forget you got your OBD scanner that will help you complete these jobs, and so it's actually a good thing. But again, if you're like me and you've been using it, it's repetitive. All right. Do I try to do an upgrade? Well, let's see here. I'm still in disassemble. We go to assemble mode. And again, that's just pressing the right mouse button. That will switch you. That brings up this quick menu. And you can go ahead and select what you need. So it's really quick and easy. I have yet, though, to get any sort of a job where I have to worry about the crankshaft or the pistons or any of that stuff. So we have not actually taken apart an engine yet. It's been mostly superficial stuff. So, all right, I'm going to disconnect at this point. Go ahead and check the invoice. We got the double check mark. So we'll go ahead and close the cab. There you go. Looking for a good thumbnail. What about something like that? I don't want the, I wish this stupid. But I do want the computer terminal there. Yeah. I think that's the best we're gonna get, right? Well, that right about there. F12. There you go. You can do it. Come on, man. All right, so repair order 32 is in the books. This should bring us 550 USD. We're gonna go ahead and proceed to the next order. 550. Remember that, folks. That's what we were supposed to make on that, and we made 632. So this one, repair order 33, eliminate the problem. It's Estonia country, 2008.
There is something strange happening recently. Something is hissing during cranking up, and I think the truck works louder. Can you check what's going on?
Eliminate the problem. You've got it, Chief. Hissing on starting up. All right, so let's go ahead and start with our OBD. And then we can do... What do you think? Do you think the test track? I mean... Okay, we got that done. Let's go here. I forgot what they call this. Because we got the test track out here. Test drive. Okay, what is this over here? Test track? Test drive and test track? Path test. Okay, so path test and test drive. Okay, I don't know if the test drive... I think they both do virtually the same thing. Well, you have acceleration. That is a test that could be part of this. All right, well, let's take a quick gander. We got the OBD back. Let's see what we got out of that. Let us see what we got out of that. We want to know height, show parts condition. All right. Not the glow plug wires. Maybe the glow plugs. We'd have to pull the wire to see. It hisses on startup, which makes me think of an exhaust. Or, and he said it's louder, operates louder. That's what makes me think. That makes me think exhaust. Hissing on startup, that could be the air system, right? Right. All right, let's see what we got over here. Let's take it on a test drive. Let's see if we can knock this one out here. I really don't like driving out. All right, acceleration, we're going. And if it is part of the air system, that would be like the braking and stuff like that, so. I don't know if there's an achievement for completing this quickly. There is one in Car Mechanic Simulator for completing the test drive in under, I think it's under 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Ooh. That was close, folks. So I'm thinking maybe an issue with the air system and the exhaust system. So we should have some more information. Let's go ahead and jack it up. We'll take a look at the underneath. See what we got, folks. I'd show parts condition. Got some yellows. Yellows seem like they're okay, though. Okay, let's disengage. We're going to turn this way. All right, I'm not seeing anything on the exhaust. Ah, exhaust manifold. All right, so we got an issue with the exhaust manifold. I'm still thinking that hissing, though, has got to be part of the air system, right? Is there any steering gear? All right, disengage. We're gonna go because it's the exhaust manifold. So let's get this thing back on the ground. Hey, close but no cigar on that one. Well, no, it's still exhaust, but I thought it was gonna be a pipe or something. All right, so we got to remove the turbo, and in order to remove the turbo, you have to remove all of this stuff. Yeah. Got to remove all of this stuff. All right, so there's that. Got to remove this lower, but we got to remove this stuff first to get that off. There's a nut, there's a bolt, actually 2 bolts down here. All right, well, how do we get rid of that? I think we have to remove the entire exhaust. Didn't we figure that out one time? All right, disengage. Shut that. Oy. It moves so slow. I don't know why it does that, but it does. It moves up and down, not bad. Moves pretty well. Side to side, it is just so slow. All right, so there's that, and now we can remove this. And from there, we have to disengage. We have to go back and lower it. This will allow us to get the turbocharger off, so we can get the exhaust manifold off. Thank you. All right, there it is. All right. There she is. 11% condition. That's probably too low. That's another thing too, is in Car Mechanic Simulator, there's a certain percentage. Any part below that percentage is unrepairable. So don't even waste your time. Do I bother to check these glow plugs, or do I just kind of operate under the opinion that it's the exhaust manifold? And again, I don't think we're going to be able to fix it, but never look. You never spend money that you don't have to. You know, 84, 94. I don't need to fix those. Exhaust manifold. Here we come. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? These cylinder heads, crankshaft. So that's all one piece. So they're not going to have any piston work to do, but 350, we'll get it for 329. So there's a lot of other jobs that I'm assuming are going to be showing up here at some point, right? new exhaust manifold in there. Turbocharger. All right. Let's button up everything in here, and then that way when we jack up the truck again, we'll finish it off, and we won't have to worry about up and down and up and down. You know. That taken care of. That taken care of. Nope. All right. 82%. 77%. So I think that's got to be done from underneath. Okay. Shut her down. Go. Let's do it, man. Let's do this. To this. We have to get into underneath engine check mode. Because I am the undercover check. There's a joke in there somewhere. I completely botched it, but it's in there. It's a do it yourself one. I gave you the premise. I gave you the setup. You got to fill in the payoff. All right, I think we're done with this one. Let's take a look. Eliminate the problem. Check mark. There is something strange happening recently. Okay. We're doing pretty good today, folks, for our first time back in a while. At least 2 months almost, you know. But we got her done, and we're going to go ahead and let's F12 that as well. That's a nice looking visual. We're going to take a look at our, according to this, eliminate the problem, Stania Country 2008, payment 550 USD. Ready? Let us entertain you. 550 USD. We're going to mark that repaired. Yes. 550 USD. Keep that in mind, folks. We made 1,495 USD. I don't understand. Okay, somebody's gonna have to explain that to me because I don't understand that. When we come back next time, we're gonna work on a 2011 Reno XL3. It's got a rear suspension problem and it's got some broken parts. I had a very heavy load to convey yesterday, and it was possible that something is broken. Now, could you check it out? Sure. We will do that next time. Right now, what we're going to do, though, is we're going to clean up a little bit, and we're going to, we have no parts that are, we have no parts to repair. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to show our inventory, and we're going to sell off all of these bad parts. Because we know we can't repair them, so they are basically just garbage. And we don't want them cluttering up our inventory. So we'll get... Oh, nope, that alternator is in good shape. We're going to keep that one. Because that's a freebie. I must have put the other one in. I did have one up here. That was part of an earlier job or something. How did I get that? I'm not sure. Again, what I must have done is I was moving too quickly. I ran and I just bought parts when I could have fixed these, and I did the same thing I'm doing now, whereas I checked to make sure and I found out I could repair those, and I did. So let's take a look at our resources. We have currently 5,511 USD. We can get at least 2 upgrades. We can get more tools in the workshop, 10% faster on bolting. Yeah, it's, you know, obviously at some point I'm going to have it all, but it's not that bad right now. Company management, level 3, we go to 5% bigger income per level. So if I go up to level 4, I'll get more money from our jobs. Become a better car mechanic. checking one random parts. I think this is so when you first start, before you run any tests, you can put on the inspection mode, and you'll see some of the parts will already be evident to you because you're a better car mechanic. So if I increase that by another level, there will be more parts visible on the initial visual inspection. Master of Commerce, 2% discount in the car shops per level. I think I'm going to go company management, and I'm going to go become a better car mechanic. Now we're at level 4, and we're moving up. So what are you saying about 10? So it's got to be 10 levels, right? Because 5, next level will be about halfway, right? All right, so we're at 1511, which, okay, not great, but not bad. And we'll be able to make that up, or we won't. I'm not sure what the billing is. I got to talk to Ethel up front. She's the one who does the billing. I have no idea what's going on. But thanks for joining me. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and follow. If you like this title and you want to see more of it, like I say, I'm not going to tell you that I'm going to put one out every week, but it is in the mix, and it will be coming around periodically. So if you want to see when the next one comes out, go ahead and hit that follow button, and you will be notified when the next one comes out. But until I see you again, be safe, be well, be good, and be back here next time, and we'll get her done. Until then, bye-bye.